Hi friends, today I am giving a lecture on compare file management system and database management system. It is one of the most important concept in database management system. Okay, what are the main differences between file management system and database management system that we are discussed in this video? The first point is, in file management system, the data can be stored in the form of files or folders in computer hard disk. Okay, that means suppose we want to store the data, that data can be stored in a file, that data can be stored in a folder in computer hard disk. How to manage the data? So manage the data means we want to insert the data and we want to delete the data and we want to update the data. So these are the tasks that can be done by the file system. Okay, next, in the case of DBMS, DBMS is a software to create and manage the database. Here DBMS is a software, that means it is a collection of programs that is used to create the database and manage the database. What is manage the database? Manage the database is nothing but inserting the data into the database, deleting the data from the database, and updating the data in the database. That is nothing but manage the database. So DBMS is a software that is used to create the database and manage the database. Okay, whereas in the case of file management system is a software that is used to store the data in the files and folders, that is used to manage the data in the files and folders. Manage the data is nothing but, so we want to insert the data, we want to delete the data, we want to update the data. Okay, so managing is nothing but inserting the data, deleting the data and updating the data. Okay, next one, in second point in file management system, in file system, tasks such as storing, retrieving and searching are done manually, hence it is difficult to manage the data. Okay, suppose in file management system, suppose we want to search a file, suppose we want to insert the data into the file, and suppose we want to retrieve the data from the file. Okay, these are the tasks that can be done on file management system. So these tasks are done manually. Okay, in the case of file management system. So hence we can say that it is difficult to manage the data. Okay, all the operations, that is storing the data and retrieving the data and searching the data, are done manually. So hence it is difficult to manage the data in the case of file management system. Whereas in the case of DBMS, so operations such as inserting the data into the database, deleting the data from the database and updating the data into the database, so that are done by using SQL query. Okay, so by using SQL query, we want to insert the data into the database, deleting the data from the database and updating the data into the database. Here we want to use SQL querying, but here it is very difficult to manage the data because all the operations, searching, retrieving, inserting, all are done manually. Okay, here it can be done through SQL query. Next, third point, in file management system, user locates the physical address of the file to access the data in file management system. Okay, so in the case of file management system, suppose we want to access the data from a file. First of all, user locates the address of the file. Okay, where the file is located, that can be known by the user because user wants to access the data from the file. Okay, so that can be done in the case of file management system. Whereas in the case of DBMS, in DBMS, user is aware of physical address where the data is stored. In the case of database management system, user does not know where the data is stored, where the location of the data is stored in the database. But here user must know the location of the file, where the file is located, that we want to access the data from that file. Okay, here user does not aware the LO of physical address where the data is stored. Okay, next, fourth point in file management system, it provides more security to the data. Okay, suppose we want to provide more security to the data in a file by using file protection. How we are providing the file protection? By using the password. Okay, so by using that password, we are providing more security to the data in the file management system. Whereas in the case of database management system, comparatively less security to the data. So compared to the file management system, DBMS provides less security to the data. Okay, next one, fifth point, data redundancy is more in file management system. Okay, so redundancy means same copy of the data is stored in multiple files. Suppose we are taking one person, that person has Aadhaar card, that person has voter card, that person has ration card. Okay, in these three files, the address is same. Okay, in the voter card, one address is there, the same address is stored in ration card and Aadhaar card. Okay, here address is one data, the same copy of data is stored in voter card, ration card and Aadhaar card. Okay, same copy of data is stored in multiple files. So that is called as redundancy. Okay, so data redundancy is more in file system, whereas in the case of database management system, data redundancy is less because all the data is stored in the database. So because of that reason, data redundancy is low in database management system. Next point, file system is suitable for small organization. Okay, here the file system is suitable for only small organization. Okay, here small amount of data is stored. For that purpose, we have to use file management system. Okay, for larger organization, we have to use DBMS. Okay, for small organization, file management system is suitable. For large organizations, so we have to use database management system because here small amount of data is stored. Here large amount of data is stored because it is a large organization. Because of that reason, DBMS is suitable for large organizations, whereas file system is suitable for small organizations. Next one, file system does not support multi-user access. Okay, at the same time, the file cannot be accessed by multiple users in file management system, whereas in the case of DBMS, so at the same time multiple users can access the database. Okay, next one, cost of a file system is less than the DBMS. So when compared to database management system, cost of the file system is less, whereas DBMS, the cost of the database management system is more when compared to file system. Next one, file system stores the unstructured data. Here, in the case of file management system, we are storing images, we are storing Excel files, we are storing tables, we are storing audio files, we are storing CSV files, etc. Okay, all that files are unstructured. Okay, any type of data is stored in the file management system. So because of that reason, file system stores the unstructured data. Whereas in the case of DBMS, in the DBMS, we want to store the structured data. Here structured data means it is in the form of tables. In the DBMS, the whole data is stored in the form of tables only. So because of that reason, DBMS stores the structured data. Okay. Next point, in file management system, if one application fails, it does not affect other applications in a file system. Suppose if one file is lost, it does not affect other files in file management system. That means one file does not affect the other files in a file management system if any file is failed or lost. Okay, in the case of DBMS, if the database failed, it affects all the applications which depends on it. Suppose in the case of DBMS, if the database is failed, whatever the applications that depends on the database, all the applications are affected. Okay, but in the case of file management system, if one file is failed or lost, it does not affect other files in the file management system. Okay, next one, in the file system, data cannot be stored because it is distributed in different files. Okay, in the case of file management system, the data cannot be shared because whatever the data that is stored in the file management system, that data is distributed. Okay, some data is stored in one file, some data is stored in one file, some data is stored in another file, some data is stored in another file. So because of that reason, the data cannot be shared in file management system. Whereas in the case of DBMS, the data can be shared because all the data is stored in the database at one place. Okay, all the data is available at one place. Because of that reason, the data can be shared. Whereas in the case of file management system, the data is distributedly stored. Because of that reason, the data cannot be shared in file management system. Okay, next one, handling of a file system is easy. Okay, it is very easy to handle the file management system, whereas in the case of database management system, for handling the database management system, it is somewhat difficult compared to the file management system. Next one, backup and recovery process is not efficient because it is not possible to recover the lost data. Okay, so in the case of file management system, if any file or any data is lost, okay, backup and recovery process is not efficient. Okay, it is very difficult to retrieve that file, to retrieve the lost file. Okay, because backup and recovery process is not efficient in the case of file management system, whereas in the case of DBMS, it is very easy to get the lost data or file. So DBMS has a sophisticated backup and recovery process for the data. Okay, whatever the data that is lost because of some problems, DBMS has a sophisticated backup and recovery process to retrieve that lost data. Okay, next one, security is low in file system. In file management system, security is low. Entire file management system, security is low. Okay, we provide more security to the data in the file management system. Okay, but security is low in file management system. Here, security is high in database management system. Okay, while considering the data, security is high. While considering the entire file management system, here security is low. Okay, next one. File system does not provide concurrency facility. Okay, at a time, multiple users does not access the same file. So, because of that reason, we can say that file system does not provide concurrency facility. Here, at the same time, the data can be stored, the data stored in the database, multiple users can access the data that is stored in the database. Because of that reason, DBMS provides the concurrency facility. Okay. Next one, data consistency is low. Okay. So, what is the meaning of consistency? In the previous case, we are already tell that suppose one person is there, that person has one Aadhaar card, one ration card and one voter card. Suppose that person address is changed. Okay. So it is updated only in Aadhaar card, but it is not updated in voter card and ration card. Here, because of that reason, we can say that data consistency is less. Okay, in one file it is updated, it does not affect the updation of other files. Okay, whereas in the case of DBMS, okay, so here at one place we are updated, whatever the data that is stored, same data is stored in another places, the same data is updated anywhere in the database once we are updating that data. So here, because of that reason, data consistency is high. Okay, so suppose one person's address is changed. Okay, so at which place the person's address is there, in all places the person's address is updated. Okay, and at one place we are updating the address, at anywhere in the database the address is also updated. So here data consistency is high in the case of DBMS. Next one, what are the examples for file management system? The examples for file management system are NTFS, New Technology File Management System. Okay, so NTPS is used for Windows file system, and next one EXT, Extended File System. This extended file system is used for Linux file system. Okay, for Windows, NTFS is used For Linux, ext is used. Okay. Whereas in the case of DBMS, the examples for DBMS are Oracle, DB2, MS Access, MS SQL Server, MySQL. So these are the examples for DBMS. So these are the 17 differences between file management system and database management system. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please share this video to your friends and classmates. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel name. So DIVVELA Srinivasa.